All right, here we are back once again on the Renegade Master. The juxtaposition cross of insight. The whole thing about insight is that it brings us into this very unusual unconscious polarity. That is, we've got the 30 and we have the 29. The moment we have the 30 and the 29, we have a very, very uncomfortable pressure in that mind. That fixed mind that is defined has to deal with the other thing is that explanation in out of the window. The moment that we need a juxtaposed 43, 23, they don't want to explain anything to you particularly. They're very absorbed in their own insight. It's almost as if they realize that no matter what the insight is going to be, nobody's going to understand them. Remember, the deepest fear of the 43 is that nobody's going to know what you know mean. You mean you hear 4323 me and you listen to these recordings unedited. How many times do you hear me say, you know? And this is the mechanism of the 4323, looking for the acknowledgement that somehow in the inside that has been transferred. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not, do you understand me? That's a pattern. It's not, do you believe me? That's just enjoying the story. This is about, do you know? Have I put the mutation in you? Can you catch it the way I just caught it? That's very different. So constantly what you see with this cross of insight, that there is this recognition in the 4-1. That's going to be very, very hard to get this cross. The advantage is that it's a 4 personality. Basically, the way the 4-1 operates is that it will wait until it has this kind of friendship where it can, in casual conversation, drop the cookie. It's like, by the way, I had this insight. In other words, the first thing they do is they try to secure the acceptance of what they are. So they're almost secretive. It's their insight, it's their individual, and yet at the same time, there's the possibility, because remember, it's still a one track mind. It's just a juxtaposed one track mind. It still wants to get it across because it's transpersonal, but it's mythology. It's deeply connected to the bond it makes with the other. The way they wait for those moments where there is a political discussion going on amongst friends or philosophical discussion going on, and then they just have let it out as a little thing. It's almost like they see if it makes a ripple, and then they immediately put no reaction or they immediately put up hostile response. They suck at the back again, but they never be friends with those people again. Oh yeah, dump them like a stone because the 4-1 doesn't change. What's around it is the only thing that it can change. So you have a 4-1 that's invested in its network. Remember what I told you about the fourth line. It has to invest in its network, even though the whole network isn't rewarding. Now, most fours, depending on the design, you will hold on to extended networks most of their life, even though most of the network it will never reward them. But there's always the hope of the opportunism. But what you see here in the 4324 is that the network will only be maintained until that point that is determined that it's not worth the investment. You're not going to hear my insight and be empowered by it if you don't belong in my network. So I'm going to cut you off. The frequency of the 4, kindness, meanness. If you want to see meanness, all you need to do is to have an extended conversation with the 4320C. There's a savageness in structuring everybody because they're not self, are inefficient within the structure. There's this quality that is there. So one of the things that happens here with the 4-1 is that it builds its network. It waits for its timing. It releases its insight. And in the moment of this insight, it's not taking it in. They're an idiot. I invested all this energy in them, and they're an idiot. And I'm never going to invest that energy in again because they're idiots. And I didn't see that they were idiots. What a fucking idiot I was. Yeah, what a fucking idiot you was, Lippy. Trusting these motherfuckers.